What's up, YouTube? Out here riding on this beautiful East Tennessee morning. Out here got a couple errands I got to run today. Trying to think about what all exactly I want to do with this bike. This bike's a 2018 Road Glide Special. It's been an okay bike. I bought it last July. I've had some problems I had to fix with it from the previous owner. I had to get it set up, to set the bars up, do all that thing, make sure it's actually comfortable to ride, because there for a while there wasn't. It got some other things I had to do to it, some maintenance things like that. But trying to debate on buying a second motorcycle and building it, or building this one. Now, I've built bikes in the past, no OCC stuff, nothing like straight up from the ground up, but I've taken some bikes and turned them into some pretty special things. Kind of got an idea of what I want to do with this one, but at the same time, I'm also debating on just kind of leaving it alone and buying a Dyna or an M8 Softail and turning it into a Dyna, or doing some of the things that some other bikes that I've seen done. I'd kind of like to have. The Cruzy Original out there in Phoenix, they've got or they don't have it on the shelves yet, but they've got a Dyna swing arm kit, mounts up to a old twin cam Softail, and I've been thinking about doing that one real hard, because you can pick up Softails for cheap. I mean, super cheap, especially early twin cams. Most of the time, a lot of the guys that own them bikes that are selling them, they've not been rode hard. Twin cams are easy to work on. They're pretty much bulletproof if you do a couple simple things to them, especially the early ones. I'm talking about cam chain tensioners and things like that. But taking down to that out, you got a balanced motor riding on a Dyna swing arm. Be pretty. That's a pretty cool idea if you ask me. So it's, as far as, I'm not saying he's the first to do it, but he's the first to publicly that I've seen put it out there. And then he's making up a kit, which he had an update on it, I think last week or week before last, about them being on back order is the only reason why they're not on the shelves right now. But he's building kits with these swing arms, and then he comes with a Legends suspension for the rear. I mean, that's a pretty bulletproof design if you ask me. I mean, you're running that balanced motor on that swing arm. The problems with Softails, you drag everywhere you go. They sit too low. You raise them up and they still, it just ain't right. So, debating on doing that. Like I said, debating on this, also doing something with this, which I may do this because I ride the living shit out of this thing. But if I do anything with this, it's going to be your typical performance bagger basics crap, like 2-in-1, stainless preferably, because this bike's black. If you've watched any of my other videos so far, you've noticed that you've seen pretty much what the bike looks like. But do some of that, do some engine work to it, because I either want to do a cam or do a full-on motor build. I'm thinking about just doing a cam with it being a touring bike, because I will ride this all over the place. Aside from that, I don't know if I'm going to quite do bars. I put these bars on here. These are the FXR Division, I believe the motor witches, which is, it's a T-bar without being a T-bar. I don't have to relocate gauges and all this other stuff in here. Really, I don't know if I want to do that, because if I go in to put T-bars or a riser moto bar combo on it, knowing me, being me, I'm going to end up doing the whole front end. And I don't know, this bike's got, let me check. This bike's got almost 35,000 miles on it, which isn't a whole lot. I mean, you've got, some of these other cats are putting a whole lot of miles on these M8s. And you can, I mean, I can build it. The last bike I built, I took a 2013 Ultra Classic and I turned it into FXRT. I had to source parts for, like, it wasn't just a straight build. It was, I had to source some parts. I learned how to do a bunch of powder coating and stuff like that myself. So yeah, I mean, that's trying to figure out exactly which path I want to take with this thing. I mean, it's a comfortable bike. It's a good bike. I did go and ride the 24s the other day, and I absolutely love those 24s. The looks grow on you, especially they look a lot different in person than they do in the pictures. But what they've done with that motor and the sport mode for it being a stock off the showroom floor bike is impressive, and I mean very impressive. So that's what got me, was that the suspension is not like, you don't have to go and drop $2,000 on suspension immediately. The suspension is much better than what it's been in the past. The bars actually don't suck for a road glide. They're up higher. They sit about, I'd say they'd sit equivalent to about what a 12 does. A 12-inch bar. These are 14s, so they sit about right here. And for a stock bike, that's huge. But yeah, I mean, that may be one of the things I do too, that I may not build much out of this one and just wait until next year and probably grab a new bike. Right now, I don't know exactly where I'm at about what I want to do with motorcycles as far as building. I would always like to have a second bike, especially a Dyna or a soft-tail Dyna conversion bike, to just have it to mess around with in town, trying to see what's going on with that. But as far as my big bike, the bike that I ride every day to work, or I ride across the state, cross country, wherever, the bike that I'm going to be on all the time, I don't know exactly where I'm at with. It's either I keep this one and I build the shit out of it, I leave it alone, or I buy a new one, and when I buy a new one, I build the shit out of it. I mean, that's just simply is what it is. I mean, you take, right now the aftermarket game for the 24s it's got to catch up, because there's not much out there right now, just because the bikes are so new. As these companies start putting stuff out, there's some pretty impressive things are going to happen with these bikes, especially knowing what you can do with them from the factory. And then you can take and tune, like you can put your own tunes into them, like you use the head unit and you can change various settings inside of it to make that bike exactly what you want. Like you can change your engine braking, you can change your throttle response, you can change all that stuff and have your own little custom map loaded, all through using the head unit, which is not something Harley's done before, which I'm excited for, because it seems like Harley-Davidson is finally listening to the customers. Finally want to, it's not the hey brother era anymore. And that's the big thing. It's like I drink beer with a lot of them guys. Them guys are cool cats, but they like the same stuff. And it's been the same stuff for, hell, past 40, 50 years. So it's nice to see Harley's going in a direction the younger generation of Harley riders seems to be in currently. It's real nice. I mean, it's just, I think the Indian putting out that Challenger kind of opened Harley's eyes up to think, because I guarantee you that took some of Harley's business away from them, just because of what the capabilities of that bike are. And it just, I don't know, I think Harley finally took a step back and paid attention to what they were doing for once. So I'm telling you, these new 24s are nasty. They're some good bikes. I'd like to see exactly what happens with that platform over time, because that motor's real good. I'm actually real curious to with the way they've always rolled out CVOs versus their specials or their current bikes, and all the way that they've done that over the past years. I'm curious to see what they do, because right now they got that VVT motor in the CVOs, and I'm curious to see if it stays in the CVOs. I'm thinking maybe a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years. That hits a showroom floor bike, a regular bike. So if that's the case, it depends on how unique they want to keep the CVO versus how much they want to continue to do what they've done for the past. Well, I mean, we'll have to see on that. But I think next year, if I get a brand new bike, it might be next year. I may take a step back and look, see what comes out next year, because they took a big step this year. I don't think it's just going to be color options next year. I think they're going to do something else because they're changing the game, and they're finally changing their game. So we'll have to see. But as where I'm at with this build, I don't know yet. I mean, let me know what you guys think. If anybody watches this, let me know what you guys think. So, I mean, said I got multiple options of which ways I could go, and it's inevitable. Eventually, I will have another second bike. So I know me well enough to know that at one time I kept at least three bikes in the garage. Three was a little much, but I wouldn't mind having a second bike again, just for something to tool around with. There's something to work on and not have to worry about, oh, it's on the lift, I can't ride it today. It's nice having an option of something to ride, whether you're working on one project or the other. So, but yeah, thanks for riding with me for a while. Talk to you guys soon.